were talking about Megd's guitars in the past. Does he bring that out in game one, or do we see on the screen right now he sticks with the Val that he's been using the entire day?
Well, here we go. It's the grand finals. Megd versus Luna. Luna coming up from the winner's side of things. That means all he's got to do is win a best of 5, and he is going to be the first LAN champion in 1v1s since 2019.
Megd starting this one off, of course, with that Val. The weapon in his hand is maybe not the one that he wants. Started off with the gauntlets going even so far as we get about 30 seconds into this game. There is a weapon spawn on the field. Luna's going to take it away, swap back to the orb. They seem to both want to stick with one weapon. Luna at least has it in his hand, but Megd is doing a fantastic job with his gauntlets, probably waiting for a weapon spawn, but maybe after his performance so far, maybe he might not swap over to that. Maybe that was a Fiend special.
Ooh, and Megd over on the left side of the stage goes for the side.
He knew it was coming.
He knew it was coming, and he instantly punished it. It's one thing to dodge the side stick from Val. It's another thing to instantly D-like ground pound. Neutral comes through, chase dodges forward. Megd, of course, having the advantage of the, to weapon star, but Luna just waiting for that new spawn as, despite Megd being armed this entire time, Luna's the one applying pressure without a weapon.
I mean, that's one thing that I think was criticized earlier, was like Luna was playing an unarmed edge guard. He's so confident in his unarmed that he didn't decide to back away, try to pick up the weapon spot or anything like that. Instead, he's like, I'm good. All I need to do is find that foot to your face, and I'm going to be getting that stock advantage. Another side light, side air, and Megd could be going down first.
There is a weapon spawn on the field on that soft platform here on Apocalypse. Recovery almost taken off the top. Not quite going to have enough force on that. And the defense from Luna, beautiful dodge. Megd's going to let him get back. He's scared of the possible weapon disadvantage that he was at. Goes over. That one is going to hit right on the money. That is going to be the first KO in game 1 of Grand Finals, and it go towards not the #1 seed, not the gold medalist that people think is going to happen, but it went towards Megd. Instant tie-up. No extra credit because school is cringe.
Megd... Dude, please save me.
Megd's coming back, but he doesn't even have the chance to pick up a weapon spawn. Luna doing such a good job denying. There's the weapon spawn, high on the right side, perfect for Megd, but Luna shoves him all the way to the left side wall.
Well, I like that Megd went for. We saw him get success with that against Fiend. The gravity cancel sidelight on sword after he's able to hit his opponent in the air with either nairs or recoveries, continues to do more of that damage. Megd getting hit with that sidelight side air, however, and Luna, we saw what Luna was doing with the orb a lot more than what we saw with Chete doing with the orb earlier on in the day, which is those gravity cancel sidelight stairs where he tries to really follow his opponents off stage and get those early knockouts.
Yeah, I mean, that's what gave him such an advantage in the game.
Oh! Okay.
Moved him off the map.
A little bit in the air too early. Thought he might be a little bit safe there instead of blowing the dodge early, and Megd extended himself out, put himself out there, but still was so far away from Luna, but had the perfect position to grab that weapon toss. The weapon didn't fly across the screen for 25 seconds. It was right there, basically instantaneous. Didn't even need a dash to increase the velocity of it.
And it's a great adjustment coming up from Megd from the previous game where Luna got a lot of the successful recoveries because of the Thor neutral sig, and now he's using those weapon throws to cover a potential immediately buffered one, right? You are incentivized to gravity cancel a signature that might help you to recover early so that you get that dodge back from that 3-second cooldown. But Megd there to punish it, and Luna evening up the stocks, but this time a little bit of an advantage for Megd.
Yeah, I mean, he was so good at getting that second stock quick that Luna cannot be breathing a sigh of relief. Even though he evened it up, Luna's already adding up damage on these final stocks.
Now, one of the interesting things that we're seeing is that might actually favor Megd, even though he's coming down from the elimination bracket, is we're seeing Luna shake out his hands whenever he gets knocked out. Megd's coming from a warm set that he just played against Fiend, so he's ready to go. Meanwhile, Luna, given that that area is a little bit cold, those joints might need a little bit warming up before he's at full 100% killer instinct mode, ready to do the mechanical execution required to win this game. And as I say that, he started off the Russian Mafia, couldn't finish it.
Oh, the nair hits, disarms Megd, stops him from getting the weapon. Orb is picked up here, and he follows him all the way to the right side of the stage. And he's waiting for him to jump for that weapon, but Megd taking a trick out of Fiend's book with that sidelight before picking up the weapon, gets snared and barely survives. Can he make it back to the stage? No! Megd's insane! The very last... He only had a dodge. He only had a dodge left. And Luna, we've seen him go for those edge guards before, right? Gravity cancel, down heavy, unarmed, to cover the dodge into the stage, completely gets it. But what does Megd do? The neutral sig, even if it misses, with value, touch the wall, you get all your drums back. But guess what? Bonus, he won the game.
That's a nice bonus, if I gotta say. Winning game 1, especially when you're coming from the elimination side of things. Megd has to win this best of 5 to reset for a second best of 5. He's one step closer to doing so, but you gotta believe Luna's gonna be keeping an eye out, trying to be a little bit safer on those edge guards.
Megd gonna grab the first weapon in this game. Luna trying to put pressure, but Megd, man, look, Megd can be passive sometimes, but like if anybody says that about this tournament, like just shut up. Like, actually shut up. Shut your mouth. Shut up. You're wrong. Go away. Take a different opinion. Tazza?
I mean, you only have to watch this game to know that that's not true.
Absolutely.
Right, Sparky?
Absolutely.
Because
I had to get aggro because I want Megd to get the respect that he deserves.
And the ways that he's been utilizing sort of side light to extend these strings has been so incredibly impressive. Neutral light catching him back onto the center of the stage as well. And the D-Light, I thought that was going to come out, doesn't. Instead, he hits the recovery, the side air, and Luna has been spending this entire game trying to land on the stage and not succeeding.
Some fantastic control from Megd. He hits the end sig. A massive lead built up for Megd. Luna not even lucky enough to have a weapon spawn for him as Megd's.
Okay.
He's just chilling up there, and he gets the gravity cancel downlight recovery.
In Luna's head. He's in complete control here, completely calling out so many of these dodges and movement options. Megd only in orange on the first stock. Like, Luna's scooping him up, but he's scooping him up from very low. Not even sent off screen yet. That almost hit. D-Light side air coming out from Megd. Side sig over the side. Oh, he kept holding right, and Luna saw that's what he was doing.
Yeah.
He didn't actually go back towards the stage. Luna called it out. Beautiful weapon toss, getting the KO, and I think that was orange.
Yeah, and because it was the hammer that he threw and not the orb, it covered the jump that he also did while holding right and takes him down incredibly early, even if the stocks. But it was only after Megd was able to tack on so much damage to Luna. Luna now with the orb versus gauntlets, gets that landing with the neutral light, and when Luna takes center, usually he keeps it for a while with the shuriken coming out from Megd, and the D-Light ground pound, the weapon throw was just a bait, Duke.
Dude, that's what Luna was trying to do at the end of game 1. Use that weapon toss, force an option out, and then punish with the unarmed. This time, Megd shows how it's done. Goes for the weapon toss and punishes with the downlight ground pound.
Oh, and here we go. Luna trying to get those sidelights, but look, Megd's so good with those sidelights.
But Luna, he's got to find some sort of hit. Megd just took that early stock, and he's been able to maintain it every time Luna starts building damage. Megd just gets a stock and then continues to push. The control from Megd is too much right now.
Ooh, D-Light into the neutral signature. Gonna send straight up, but still, Megd living. D-Light side air, sending Luna over to the edge. We know Thor has a lot of defense, but Val also has a lot of defense. Not enough to get through that side air that sends over into the blast zone. Again, Luna, that seems something like uniquely Luna is charging up that weapon toss rather than going for the juggle and then letting it go to pick up the new weapon spawn. And Megd ends it just like that. That's all it took. Absolute cleanliness. You could eat off that D-Light gravity cancel or neutral.
He didn't even have to gravity cancel it.
That's true, that's true.
So what was so clever about that is that I feel like Luna was reading either a dash or a dash jump by rising with an orb nair. And Megd instead downlights on the platform, catches him in the middle of the jump, and gets the neutral sig afterwards, which usually D-Light neutral sig is like hard to hit, but because he got him halfway through the platform, it was just the easiest true combo to get him off the top. And when you're that elevated on the platform, it knocks out that much earlier.
Really intelligent from Megd to go for that, not even put the jump gravity cancel, not to go for the jump recovery, which might have missed or not had the same force that neutral heavy did. Instead, Megd picks the right option and is now up 2-0 over Luna. He's about to reset this when Luna beat him 3-1 not that long ago.
And we're going into small Brawlhaven. Luna right out of the gate wanting to basically do to Megd what Megd did to Luna the previous game. That's grabbing the first and second weapon. Weapon starving his opponent when he can. D-Light into the down air, but Luna is still, yo, what a beautiful dare in orange. Close enough to get it. The weapon toss might have been the ender. Big boot ground pound coming out from Luna. 27 seconds into the game, just yellow on his health bar.
And Megd getting on that second stock tacks on more damage than he did that first stock with that sidelight, and Luna says, all right, that's all you get, as the orb comes in, and then Hammer right afterwards, swinging with that side air, 2 side airs in a row. Oh, that third side air could have just taken Megd out to his last stock if it hits, but he makes it back, and Luna avoiding the side stick again, gets a stomp, and that was a pretty awkward follow-up right there. I feel like it may have been neutral sig, because he's gone for stop neutral sig before, but
talking about side airs. Another stock for Luna. And yeah, you're right. That was an awkward situation because he didn't have like the soft platform advantage that Megd had. He hit that low, but he's getting more in. Sideline air recovery. Doesn't hit it.
Sparky, that was so close to be the best. This grand final is
we
going
almost
so fast.
saw him do to Megd what like Fiend did. It was so close,
Only that
man.
would have been for the 3-stock.
Yeah, we were literally frames away from that possibly happening. Neutral Light doesn't even send Luna off screen, but that side air, lovely follow-up down deep on the edge. Gonna get the KO. Trying to keep himself in this one. He is up 2-0, but because he's coming from the elimination bracket, that's why you see the L next to Megd's name. We're not making fun of him, of course not. He's one of the best players in the entire game. But he has to win this best of 5, reset, and gonna even up the stocks here. That's a great way to possibly secure this 3-0.
We were in orb recovery away from a 3-stock, and now it's 1-stock to 1. Megd getting that knockout at the bottom, and Luna finally succeeding with that neutral stick, catching Megd in the air and stopping the momentum that Megd was gaining there. Bringing this game to a game 4 and not allowing that 3-0 bracket reset, which I felt like was going to happen in record time. The matches between these two have been so incredibly quick.
They are zooming through this one. I'm losing words because it's just so impressive, the level of play, the quick reactions. That was a pickup into an immediate orb end-sig to catch Megd's jump at the top of small Brawlhaven. It's going to keep Luna in the upper side for a little bit, but still Megd 1 game away from getting that reset.
And we are going over to Apocalypse for this one. Megd up 2-1 as we head into game 4. Again, first weapon this time. Also going to Luna just like last game, but second weapon is Megd's. It's these gauntlets. We talked about the sword and how good it was against Fiend and how Megd was focusing on that. It's not the same thing here with Luna. He's kind of spreading it between these two weapons, doing a great job with both of them.
Ooh, but so far going into this game number 4, Luna has been doing all the damage and taking none himself, but D-Light ground pound into sword pickup, D-Light sider. All right, Megd, side sig, I don't know about that one. He is going to punish for that a lot, and he does change things up. Slides off the side of the stage, gets the recovery in the air, brings Luna into red and takes the lead back.
Yeah, he's basically evened up that damage. The sword play again coming out from Megd. No double downlight as he goes straight for the downlight side air. The true follow-up. Luna stuck on this corner. Down sig not going to connect, and that's a burn dodge, but Megd waits it out.
Whoa, that was an interesting mistake or
yeah,
drop. I'm not sure
it's
exactly
just, there
what
are
it
those
was.
cases where you're like, oh, the D-Light hit.
Yeah.
That's what it was. And now Luna with that weapon throw off the side of the stage, dodges in place, Megd waits it out, gets the side air, and the down sting. I like the idea, but Luna doesn't punish, he's sweating. That's Luna's stock. He never touched the stage, and Megd takes the lead in game 4.
There is a weapon on the field. Megd making his choice. It is null and void as that stock is. We are dead even as we are a minute and a half into this game. Both players have a weapon.
Luna punishing him for thinking about what weapon he wants to hold in his hands and evens up the stock count, but Megd gets weapon advantage. She steals away that second spawn. Luna's hoping for a lucky spawn, and there it is. He'll get the orb.
Just tense space.
Yo, Chen, I'm gonna be muted real quick.
Players, Megd pushing a little bit. Luna completely backing up. Goes to that soft platform. Megd pushes him off. Gets the dodge through. Nice dare, yo. Luna might control the edge here.
I love watching Luna use those orb down airs off the left side of the stage. Weapon throw comes down, but he gravity cancels that sideline, and Megd catches that. It looked like he landed on the platform to some players, but no, that gravity cancel comes through, and Megd was able to get so much damage, and neutral light hits Luna so damaged, but still gets the down air into neutral light. But Megd, that time successful with the side sig, brings him. I thought I was successful with the side sig, but no, Luna does not go down. He's still here. The D-Light recovery, is that enough? No, one more could do it, dude.
That high defense from Thor keeping him alive. He managed to dodge just inside of that side sig, but Megd finds another recovery, still not enough. Luna burns the dodge, and there's the third recovery from Megd to get that stock advantage. He's 1 stock away from getting that reset.
And he's in such an incredible spot here against Luna. Doesn't even worry about that extra weapon on the field. He's just going to hit Luna away from it. In comes that hammer, but Megd's still in a decent spot here, still in the orange. Even after that hammer down air almost stacked, Megd dips back down to the main platform. We're seeing those hammer swings. None of them are making connection. That side signature, even from the middle of the stage, you're still seeing seeing Luna shaking his hands.
Yeah.
Maybe doesn't feel fully warmed up yet.
I was looking at that, I was thinking, I thought that was something that he was doing in between the stocks that he lost, but that side's the connection. You see him right away getting ready for this final stock here because he does not want to let this go to a reset. He's going to bring it to a game 5, but Megd is trying to make that a reality to get that grand final reset. Luna off the side of the stage, an Orb Nair saving him, a second Orb Nair hitting. Remy was talking about this in the analysis in the last set. That's what gave Luna so much success in the previous set against Megd, and that's what's bringing him back to the stage with the damage, Duke. It's so in favor of Megd.
And he even gets the weapon spawn. A downlight recovery might not be enough. This is Apocalypse, and we've seen Megd hit so many that don't KO, but he's gonna go for more as he keeps the sword. Downlight recovery this time. Megd's gonna get the reset.
We're still seeing Luna shaking his hands. I think that physical shaking is also indicative of Luna himself being shook here, mentally, emotionally. You know he's got to be drained after this long weekend. And let me tell you, gentlemen, if you don't know at home, it's been a very long weekend. Everybody's tired, everybody's exhausted. We're running on pure adrenaline at this point. But Megd just like looks unfazed. Like, I sweat in ranked more than Megd is sweating playing this grand finals against Luna.
Megd came back in this grand finals with a clear battle plan going up against Luna, and I'm wondering if it's so oppressive that we see Luna go back to some of those legends that we really get to know him for, right? Because as Remy was talking about, when it comes to the Thor, it's really been unseen from Luna in competitive play.
You only worry about having G name?
Entirely for the midseason championship, but what we're used to seeing is that Roman Reigns, the Terros, right? And even the Mordex picked quite a bit from Luna, so maybe that's something that could come out here in the grand final resets. We're about to find out, Duke.
I mean, they're going in. It looks like it's going to be the Thor. He doesn't want to try to change things up. The board gets reset, both of them now in the final set of the mid-season invitational. One of these two is going to be crowned the champion after this next best of 5. Luna with the hammer. Megd is already going in with the gauntlets.
First weapon went to Luna, second weapon went to Megd. We're seeing incredible damage coming out from both players already. The pace between these two is dead even, but Megd is having to put out more hits, swapping over to the sword. Luna at the weapon disadvantage, still going in unarmed, gets hit away, weapon spawn in, grabs that orb. Ooh, went for the gravity cancel side light, wanted to push Megd to the edge.
There it is.
And because of that gravity cancel, Megd knew in the back of his head, it's double D-light time.
Yeah, that's the first one that we've seen him use against Luna in the grand final, but we knew he had it in there from fighting Fiend, but Luna goes for that sidelight side air, doesn't bounce the weapon off the wall, and Megd goes over to deny the weapon, and he gets the pick up on the sword, and the D-light recovery afterwards, but Luna surviving thanks to that defense on Thor, but that D-light recovery, he's not going to be able to
this is actually insane. I can't believe it when I'm watching.
Yeah, this ceiling not nearly as high
I can't believe
as
this
Apocalypse's. Luna still has an opportunity, even this one up. There's the weapon spawn, but Megd, he's been so stinking good at denying weapons from Luna. It's making it hard for Luna to do that game plan of starting off with the orb, build that damage, then go over the hammer for the KOs.
So I gotta think this map is really favoring Megd, because if you
Can't
look at
believe
the
this
damage
shit. What am I
numbers
watching?
required last game, it was 644 from Megd. It's a very high number. But of course you're going
Like, what
against
the
very high defense.
fuck? What did I miss?
Has a lower strength Val. So going here means he doesn't have to do that much damage. Not having to do that even when he's outpacing Luna with that 644. I can only think it's going to be even more in Megd's favor here.
Yeah, Megd also getting hit by a ton here, and we saw before the amount of D-light recoveries that Megd had to get to take one stock off of Luna in comparison. Like, that recovery comes through and Luna gets 2 nairs, and I'm already scared of that recovery taking him off the top. He charged that side stick, however, and gives Megd a perfect opportunity for an edge guard here. Does he want to challenge Luna's hammer? We saw those side sticks not work out, and instead
what is Luna doing?
To go back onto stage, reset wall slip, and fall right into another D-light sider. These siders from Megd have been so fantastic of keeping Luna off stage as he goes and tries to take the lead once again.
Ooh, the recovery connects. Megd now forced the offstage. Luna waiting for the opportunity to get that ground pound. But
they need to graduate new dodge.
Luna not able to deny the weapon pickup. The neutral sig connects. Luna gets the slight advantage over Megd. Can he deny the weapons long enough?
The classic Luna charge gets sent really high off that one. I don't think he was ready to go that high after he got hit with that unarmed recovery. Weapon immediately goes to Megd as well. No major punish there. It was a really slow option coming out from Megd. I don't think he necessarily expected to need to punish at that time. Still in a pretty good spot. easily takes that stock away, going to even the stocks up maybe 25 to 30 damage on Megd's final stock. Not a big deal whatsoever, especially as he's going to strip the board, guarantee himself another sword here, and it's fresh. Doesn't have to worry about that getting knocked out of his hands by Luna.
Oh, and then down airs the sidelines, 2 sidelines in a row. Oh, Luna! Okay, sweating there, doesn't touch the stage, but he does get back. Megd gets the recovery, and so far it's been only Megd getting
I ate a little bit.
recoveries. 3 recoveries in a row. Go for the 4th.
I need to order something else, low-key.
I feel like Fiend has inspired Megd. I've been watching so much of this play. The
I didn't want to wait in the Wendy's
the,
line.
I'm going to keep hitting him with this until he does something about it. It's been so much fun to watch Megd go into this Luna Grand Final reinvigorated.
He's like that evolution character from animes that like learns from who he loses to or who he plays against, and he's like, I'm gonna take that and I'm gonna get better because of
My
it.
look dead.
Get back to the stage here.
just
Stop
focused, I'm
Insane
listening.
coming out from Luna. Still not enough.
Disarmed.
The side air still not enough, but you're exactly right, Tazza. There's a weapon spawn on the field. Megd going onto the stage. Again, going wide to avoid the GCD light. That is a popular option from Luna, and Megd knew it was coming, but this game 1 of the reset, goes to Luna.
If that sidelight went the other way, that could have been a completely different story, though. Luna getting that side air on the punish from Megd, as Megd thought Luna was going to go far to the left, and he doesn't. It puts him in prime position for the orb to not even need the sidelight to start that combo up. Just a stare takes him off the left side, and Luna starts this grand final bracket reset right.
Megd's been so smart about these edge guards against Luna. He has not eaten a single ground pound from Luna's hammer since coming into the grand finals. He has not thrown out a sword side sig that gets hard punished by Luna since the grand finals has started. He's learned from all those mistakes in his earlier match, and he has leveled up.
Take a shot every time Luna shakes his
But we've
hands.
still got at least 2 more.
It'll be curious to see if we go back to small Brawlhaven as a map, and no, we are going to avoid that and go back to Apocalypse between these 2 players. Megd putting out 556 damage last game, but it wasn't enough to secure it. Yo, starting this one out big. Damage output very quick from Luna.
Big thing when you mention that damage, right? Luna's damage, 247 on hammer, 313 on orb. We go over to Megd, 43 on gauntlets, 425 on sword.
He's back to relying on that sword.
It's been relying on that sword, and the stocks that he was losing were critical because it was when he was on the gauntlets. That's how we saw him lose that last game there. Let's see if Luna's able to continue trying to back him into that corner of having to be on the gauntlets, which is showing to be not as comfortable as the sword is on the Val as we go into game number 2. Luna up in the grand final reset.
He's got that damage advantage. There's the end. Sig will launch Megd, denying weapons. Megd in the unarmed. The sider is going to again give Luna a weapon advantage. The hammer toss orb picked up. Megd gets past him. Down light into the ground pound. Still living.
Yeah,
Of all
Luna's
the
taking his
signatures
home.
that could be like the ones that Luna is using and showcasing here,
Yeah, I was
it's
thinking the same
hammer
thing.
neutral signature
And
of all choices.
That is the least utilized Thor signature that I've ever seen, and he's doing it off of stomps when the dodge is gone, and he's using it, slide charging it, or dash neutral sigging as Megd is
Exactly.
flying over his head with and it's what's really cool about it is that he's punishing both the gauntlet side air and side lights with the neutral sig as well.
guess
as a
he's
lot of
trolling,
Megd
I don't
air
know.
off of the sword, but that evens up the stocks pretty quickly here, and Megd's on that favorite weapon, which of course he primes and then goes back to, which is the sword.
Yeah, those end sigs from Luna have been so good again.
Powering
Like
up, man. Look, you
but
made
also
it back.
his true combos off the downlight. So depending on where he hits that stomp, maybe he wants to launch more vertically, kind of like spear players will go for that recovery instead of the side air.
Neutral light coming out from Megd. Luna's not really spending any time on the wall whatsoever. Now going to go down there just a little bit because he got sent further. When it was those like low damage side airs, when he was in the yellow and maybe in the beginning stages of orange, he just kind of went directly back in. Yo, there's the double D-light into the ground pound. Megd trying to get really cheeky because the double D-light into the recovery probably would not have KO'd on its own. I think he wanted to pick up off of the ground pound, bounce off of the soft platform to then secure the KO with that little bit of extra damage from the ground pound.
I don't like how close all these games are. I'm gonna be honest with y'all, man.
Megd's had such a huge damage lead for so long, but Luna's bringing it back. Gravity cancel side light. Wisp doesn't get punished. Side air connects. Megd looking for that D-light starter to get the recovery. I'm not even sure
Megd's finna engage.
if it knocks out Thor at this amount of damage on Apocalypse. Let's find out. It does. D-light recovery off the top. Luna shaking it off as they're going into this last stock situation where Luna could have the set tied up against him if Megd continues playing like he's doing right now with the sword.
I'm slowly getting the feeling that each of them has their map. right? Megd's been winning on Apocalypse. It might take him a little longer with those downlight recoveries, but he's so far been winning on Apocalypse, and Luna has generally been winning on small Brawlhaven. He's trying to even up this stock count, but the recovery is not enough, and he can't find the side air.
Luna is so close. He wanted that GC sidelight into the side air, got the bounce with that one. Megd over on the edge. Is Luna going to go into the ground pound? No, he's going to retreat, wants the weapon. He knows it's a hammer coming in. There is that neutral signature right over the corner, like Taz.
I come back and this nigga's getting his ass beat.
Slide charge.
Although that's
the top KO.
That's a bit of a more aggressive
yes,
usage of it.
He was holding left as hard as he could.
Like most of the time, it has been on stage and it's an anti-aerial option. But there, Luna really going off stage for the read. It doesn't work, but you know what it does? The knockout off the top, and now Megd is even in damage against Luna here in game 2, and Luna is trying to bring this to match point. Sidelight, D-light, goes to the nair. The down air bounces off the platform, but Megd can't get a good punish in.
I was 168, I think I'm like 155 now. I was 168, 170 like in January.
Gets the juggle, gets him off stage. Weapon toss not going to connect. Oh, wow. Goes to the gravity, cancel downlight a little early. Luna with the nair keeps himself alive.
On,
the damage is being done, though.
Stop playing with this nigga, man.
Stock here in game number 2.
That nair was really nice from Luna because he did it like right next to the wall, so even if it missed, he could still hold to the right and touch that wall. But if Megd wanted to put pressure on him,
but he's not going to answer.
Above and to the left where Megd was, that could have won priority there and kept him safe. He goes for it! What a gambit! Luna is going to take that game. We are seeing a complete departure from the previous set
he just better not get reversed.
What a play with the gravity cancel there to get into the recovery
what I'm saying.
at the
This shit is
very
anticlimactic
end.
as
And it was
hell.
in the midst of complementing Luna's nair as a recovery tool, but man, when he utilizes that to get stocks off the top, it is so beautiful. And yes, something that Luna's been doing all game as an aggressive option, as a recovery option, is that he pivots the orb nair, but he doesn't lose momentum when going into the direction that he's using it, right? So that's something that's really, really difficult to do for some players, but he continues to succeed with it, and now we see him going into this grand final.
Who's the nigga with all the hair? Is that Java?
Duke, he's one game away from being the mid-season 2022
Who the fuck was
champion.
that?
And once again, Luna catches that dodge down from Megd. It's something that
you want my OnlyFans? Come on, man.
Final, and we're seeing it play out here in the grand finals. This small habit that Luna's really picked up on is Megd dodges down, and Luna's like, okay, free punish, gravity cancel, sidelight into an air, into a recovery, and that stock is gone.
So it seems like Apocalypse has now become the Luna stage, and we are going back to Apocalypse here for this possible final game of the mid-season championship. Here in the grand finals, Luna has got to be feeling pretty good. Up 2-0, not just that last game, a very confident performance,
it really ain't that bad.
Swaggy ending as well.
Look, I am
the opening to this game might be taking some away that confidence that Luna has. Megd opening this one up really strong with those gauntlets of all weapon, Taz.
Yeah, and that sidelight coming through with the nair, and that's huge.
What the
You're
fuck
talking
are you
about Luna.
doing?
Oh, missing the side of the stage, going to the other side of the stage, but we talked about how punishable that neutral sig is, especially when you're not getting it to touch the very edge or go above the stage. And what did Megd have? The best weapon for punishing a signature recovery, Gauntlet ground pound. You get to aim it, it comes out so quickly after a jump, and Megd takes a huge lead going to game 3.
Yeah, fantastic patience and positioning, staying high above it. Saw that Luna was really burning a lot of options, but he immediately goes beyond stage, down like ground pound. The nair keeps Megd alive. He's saying, you can do it with orb, I can do it with sword.
I think Luna finally got the D-Light ground pound right there that he's been hoping for.
So
many of them have just been a little bit too low, or maybe a little bit towards the middle of the stage, that they end up bouncing off the stage, but I think that's the one
I hate it as an invitation.
That's why he's going for the D-Light ground pound instead of like a D-Light recovery or D-Light GC in heavy or anything like that. He wants the spike right over the corner.
And speaking of maneuvers that Luna really likes to get against his opponents, it's that gravity cancel sidelight. Side air, get near it, and he gets that knockout off the left side of the stage. But Megd, when he comes back and he has that sword and another sword primed, he gets so much damage in the Luna. And
I'm going to
side air,
BCH.
stopped by Luna's nair. So great at recovering with the orb here in this game, but Megd still has a huge damage lead, and Luna's going to need a few more orb side airs to be able to bring it back.
Well, he tries to switch up the weapons. It's just going to be a slightly cleaner orb. Some fantastic ledge movement, but it's not enough. Megd with the nairs.
One of y'all niggas ask me again. I'm not buying nobody ticket, bro.
Could give him that
Unless I'm getting like
advantage over
80%
Luna.
of
He's
your
keeping
earnings.
that sword in hand, so he can go for it. But it's the Ensig that gives him the lead.
Had a lot of damage built up onto Luna. Grabbed the neutral signature, even though it's sent in the 45-degree angle. That
BCX is
on
moment
that for
before.
just a second, but he's going to be able to continue his
throwing.
move after that. Luna finding some good damage,
stop trolling,
has the
bro.
hammer in his hand, goes for for the raw neutral signature.
Imagine Megd winning a tournament, bro.
Hoping he can clean up this stock quickly.
Kill
that downer
him.
didn't pick up quite high enough. He wished he was maybe 3 character heights up.
You're not even going to top 32. I'm not investing in you, nigga.
Even up the game, Luna.
Yeah, you can go to BCS, go to Start GG.
Megd stacked right on top of the spot dodge, neutral air. Stop side air from Luna. Got to clean that one up.
Oh, Luna cleans it up, and he's in a light orange S-Thor here in Apocalypse, and this stage has been mostly in favor of Megd, but that weapon throw into gravity cancel sidelight side air means Megd goes into yellow. Weapon throw, pick up, Megd can't get anything started, and this is the gauntlets, Duke. This is the weapon that we've been showing the low damage numbers coming out from Megd. He's been doing a lot better with it as the games goes on, but Luna's getting that damage back, and it's almost even.
Megd's stuck in this awkward situation. Does he stick with the gauntlets, or does he try to throw him away? Hope for that sword spawn. He's sticking with him, hoping he'll find the hit, but a great punish from Luna. Again, getting more and more hits. This is his championship stock. This is his opportunity to be crowned the champion of the first land since 2019. All he needs is a little more, but Megd holds on. The side sync connects.
It is Megd time, ladies and gentlemen. You see the guts that it took to go for that signature over the corner. Being down 0-2, being very heavily damaged against a very strong character, and of course, a very strong player. That took guts to go for it. He could have been punished if he missed it. He could have lost the entire tournament on that side signature alone.
And furthermore, that was the first one they hit, right? Like all those other side, like the side six were getting him punished so much. I was kind of like, I would not blame you if you never used that move again. But in that moment, when his tournament life was on the line, right? He goes for it in a place where it's best.
He said Megd look like a lizard.
Not expecting it, get that stock, and he prevents the 3-0 and brings it to a game 4.
Like a card counter at a blackjack table. He was just counting the opportunity. He was waiting. He was folding all the weak hands until he saw the opportunity. But we're going to the map that I said was Luna's for game number 4.
Yeah, Duke, that's exactly why I was saying there, because we were talking about those home stages, right? Apocalypse working in favor of Megd, but here we are in Brawlhaven, Sparky.
And we even thought at the beginning of the previous game that Apocalypse might have become the Luna map. Of course, by the end of it, I'm singing a little bit of a different tune, Tazza, but we are now going over here to small Brawlhaven.
Now pass it, Megd at 10.
Oh, he's able to pick up that
Actual
sword.
10.
That
he just runs the whole game.
He's hoping to juggle here a little bit. Neutral light, grabs the weapon.
I thought that the hammer was a little bit more fresh than that, but of course it wasn't. And Megd with the neutral signature coming in strong in game number 4, on his way to bring it into a game 5 here in the grand final reset. And that recovery secures him some extra damage here. And Megd, when he gets one of those recoveries at low damage, he just likes to go for a second one, and a third, and a fourth, and he gets so much of that damage and that Luna needs to find a way to stop it before he gets out of hand.
Why are you running? What you said earlier, right? He saw a move that worked pretty well, and he's going to keep using that move because it's still working pretty well. The down air not going to connect for Luna. Megd starting to find more damage. He's building up that extra credit. The side air is not even going to be enough to put Megd off screen.
This is starting to not look good for Luna. Does find the stock there, but we've already seen one color change on Luna's health bar from white to yellow. I'm pretty sure, yep, there it is. All it took was that unarmed side light to turn him orange. Gonna have to be careful here. Has the gauntlets, the recovery sending off screen. The side sing is gonna take out. That is why you love to play on this map. If you have a low strength legend and you're playing against a high defense legend, because you can get KOs like that if you pick them up in the right spot.
I'm looking at this game, Duke, and I'm thinking Megd is taking the stage away from Luna, and Luna's gonna have to think of something different if he can't get this win here, because so far Megd is just gonna get all damage, so many sword recoveries, so many early knockouts. Sidelight, sure, it's dodged out of the way, but that D-Light slider comes through.
What up, Dave?
About 10 of those this game as that recovery disarms him, stares him. Luna, he can't make it back to the stage.
The comeback momentum that Megd has mounted. He took game 3. He's about to take game 4 unless Luna brings out the biggest guns he's got. Doesn't even get the dodge read. The neutral light's not going to be enough. The down air. And Megd, he's going to take it to game 5.
He didn't touch.
It was the closest thing ever, but yeah,
I think he
just didn't ride up the bottom of the stage there. Didn't get the touch. We know that for a fact because he was sweating the entire time. Wow, we are at game 5, Duke, with Luna back against the wall now after we were pretty resoundingly like, hey, that 3-1, Luna feels like it's just going to be a repeat performance. Megd comes in here, makes that grand final, that first grand final go by like a breeze, and now here we are in the reset in Game 5. It can't get any better.
I can't believe they let this nigga get
you gotta give so much credit to Megd, not only for not being shooken after what happened in the winners finals, but coming back, even adapting, starting to find more and more punish for the way that Luna is playing. He's forced this to game number 5. This is the final game of the weekend to find out who will be the mid-season champion.
Nigga, take his head, oh, please.
So we talked about early on the idea that Luna surpassed Megd.
Are you serious?
And that certainly happened. We didn't lie when we said that. The stats will tell you that. But the fact that they were so even in sets, and at the end of this tournament, it's going to come down to them being still extremely even in sets. It's coming down to the absolute last possible moment after the bracket reset. Last stock red on so many of these games, so many clutch moments from these players. You gotta love, even though this tournament has been long, this weekend's been long, it's been a long day, this is what we all wanted at the end of the day, no matter what.
Oh, and we're on Apocalypse, and it's so close here. This is the final game of Grand Finals. Weapon throw comes down, and the D-Light recovery does hit, even if it's a little delayed. Megd returns with his own Nair, has the gauntlets in hand here, but Sparky, as I'm glancing over the stats there, that's 48 damage from Megd in that last win. From the 444 on sword, right? 48 damage on the gauntlet. So he is a little vulnerable on this, and Luna showing that as he gets that down there and the edge.
Oh my fucking! I can't believe you, bro.
If he just didn't do that, I don't think Megd makes it back.
That was the Luna classic, though. He was taking people out with that. Maybe he got a little bit of confidence in that. Neutral 6 still gonna take off the top.
Yo, what's so hard?
Seeing that neutral air coming out from Megd, he knew that Luna was going to go for the GC down heavy. That breakdance, Duke. Look at this lead.
Had such a great option. Burned everything. You saw the sweat beads, caught the Nair, and he backs away. He's like, you know what? You kept me alive. I'll take that and continue on. Luna going to try to get some extra credit here, but Megd, with these Nairs, he's sticking with the gauntlets a lot more than he has earlier on in this set.
The weapon was gone for just a second, but Luna grabbed an orb. You see him going wide to avoid. The GCD light almost tried to do to Luna what we've seen Luna do to so many different players today, but it didn't work. Luna was able to get through it.
That was such a huge weapon throw from Luna, stopping the D-Light. Megd only got the recovery, and it was low enough to the ground that Luna wasn't able to go at the top. But this time, the D-Light recovery takes
chicken or sandwiches or burgers? Burgers. I don't like chicken sandwiches.
It's now 2 stocks to 2.
Megd gonna keep that weapon advantage, and of course, get ready for sword again. The gravity cancel downlight recovery at the top of the map. He's like, I don't care that you're armed and you're fresh. I'm just gonna hit you for coming at me, trying to get that damage advantage.
What are you?
Luna's just going in unarmed. There's a weapon spot on the far right, and Megd's the one who cares more about it than Luna.
And look at the weapon spawn coming in here now. Hammer picked up. Megd tries to go for a dare. Nair comes through as well. And Luna with that weapon thrown downwards. Oh, Megd's trying to get something started with the recoveries.
Bro, beat this nigga ass. You playing, bro.
Dodge down from the recoveries, hit the Nairs afterwards, and he's taking a lead here in the final game. Oh, the avoidance, but the dare just barely clips.
He's sticking right on the corner, backs away. The weapon spawn doesn't get into his hands. He picks up the orb, hits a down air. He's getting some damage built up. But what's more important is if he can get the stock, and Megd has got the stage control.
With this sword in hand, you're seeing him build this damage up. I was about to say Luna has such a huge lead, but this sword play from Megd is unparalleled. The side air is going to kill there. I didn't think he had enough damage. I didn't think it was going to be close enough to the blast zone, but it was. Luna swapping back over to the orb. Luna still maintaining this lead.
Oh, can Megd bring it to that last stock scenario right here in Grand Finals Game 5. Sidelight comes through, recovery does not hit. Luna hits it with 1 Nair, 2 Nairs, goes for the third, and Megd, he goes for the gravity, gets a neutral after the Nair, but Luna bounces away too far. Megd gets the re-pick up on the gauntlets, gets the pummel. Luna sent flying, but not disarmed. He makes it back, and the D-Light doesn't hit on the platform this time around, but Megd gets the recovery, and no, he still isn't taking too much damage, Duke, but Luna's still surviving.
He's trying to get any extra credit he can. He wants to get this damage built on. Weapon toss connects. It's not going to be much. Megd he just needs a downlight recovery. We're going to final stocks. Game 5 at the Midseason Invitational. This is the most important stock of either of these players' careers.
You saw Megd playing around that soft platform. I knew that he wanted to find that D-Light recovery one on the main stage that he picked up might not have had enough on it to get the KO off.
Back up.
Really
He's gonna swing.
Grabbing that D-light on the
He's gonna swing, bro.
left side.
He's gonna swing. Make him swing. He's gonna swing. Hit him.
Here. This is a long
Make him swing.
ladies and gentlemen.
Hit him.
4 minutes
Oh,
and
God.
20
Back
seconds
up.
into it. This has been a grind all day for these players, but they're still in it. The execution is still almost flawless, as close to perfect as you could be. There is a weapon spawn on the field.
Only
Neither
confirms.
player. Oh, Luna's gonna swap, but he goes back to the orb. He wants to deny.
Come on, another combo. One more.
Megd is disarmed.
Ooh, he gets the nair towards the top of the stage. I thought he was going to
hit him again. On the fall. Yep. On the fall. Hit his ass again.
Bringing him deeper and deeper into orange. Falls down. Megd gets a sidelight. No downer afterwards. One nair. 2 nairs. No, the second nair dodged out of the way. Megd just trying to hit him one at a time. Neutral A punished as Luna dodges behind him. Gets the side air. Gets a fresh orb. And falls with that nair as they are just hitting each other one at a time.
Let's go. Finish his ass. Get his ass out of there.
Opportunity. Luna has Megd on the right side wall. Side air. Megd's running out of options. No weapon in hand. Luna sitting on the corner. He's got the hammer in hand.
What are you doing?
Past him. He's going to get a weapon.
With the hammer, it's so scary. KO potential through the roof. You saw that neutral air almost send him up the blast zone. D-light side air. Megd needs every single hit to make a connection. He cannot get punished on any of these hits. Any good
Watch that instinct. Watch the instinct. Watch that instinct. He gonna do it.
You see Luna being very careful. He doesn't want to get punished. He's jumping around. Yeah, he picks it up high enough. Luna is your mid-season champion.
That's my guy. Luna is the champion. I've been saying it all year. This dude's insane.
All that running to lose, bitch ass nigga. I wouldn't even dap him up.
Oh my goodness, what a grand final. I can't believe it. I am so proud of both of these players, and Megd keeping it that close to the very end. We're literally every single game. Stock taken or stock lost. Luna's shaking out. Like, man, this guy is good. It's just having to deal with Megd applying the best sword play that we have ever seen to date. But Luna, as you said, dude, at the very last game in the grand final, taking the mid-season champion.
I'm so happy. I mean, this has been an amazing day. It's been an amazing weekend. We've had so many amazing sets. That grand finals. You could not have a better storyline for the mid-season championship, where we go to game 5 after the reset, even earlier, the Megd versus Fiend match, the Fiend versus Machete match. We've had so many wonderful matches this weekend.
Luna did it, man.
Fuck Megd.
Luna came into this obviously with a lot of heat behind him. Came into this number 1 seed. A lot
Bro, this little nigga be making me nervous. Let me get my wings.
But what does that
Let's go, W.
Pressure. Luna came into this probably with more pressure on him than virtually anybody else in the game.
We saw the interview, the player interview with him, and he was just kind of sitting there. Yeah, I think I am just the player to beat, and he was the player to beat. And the only player that could even come close to doing that was Megd, as to how prepared he was the entire match.
W. W's in the chat.